Your mouth has forgotten something.
What did you say?
Your mouth. It has forgotten how to do something it was never really taught.
My mouth forgot something.
Not your brain, your mouth. There is a difference.
That's a strange way to start a conversation, Ian.
I know, but stay with me, because what I'm about to say might change the way you think about English forever.
Okay, I'm listening.
Have you ever studied English for years, and then someone asks you a simple question and your mind just goes completely blank?
Yes, honestly, yes.
And it feels like you know the words somewhere inside you, but they just won't come out.
Like they're trapped.
Exactly, like they're locked behind a door you can't find the key to.
That's such a specific feeling, and it's terrifying.
It happens to millions of people, Sophie, every single day. People who have studied English for 5 years, 10 years, sometimes more.
And they still can't speak?
They still freeze. They still stumble. They still fall silent at the worst possible moment.
Why does that happen?
That is the question no one is asking the right way.
What do you mean, the right way?
Most people ask, what grammar rule am I missing? Or what vocabulary word don't I know? Or which tense did I get wrong?
Those sound like the natural questions.
They are natural, but they are also the wrong questions.
The wrong questions?
The real question is not what do I know? The real question is what has my mouth been trained to do?
Trained to do.
Yes, Sophie, trained like a muscle, like a skill, not like a memory.
That's different.
Very different. And once you understand that difference, everything changes.
Okay, tell me more.
Imagine someone who wants to become a swimmer. They read every book about swimming. They study the mechanics of the strokes. They watch videos for hours. They memorize the breathing techniques.
That sounds like a dedicated student.
But they never get in the water.
Okay, that's obvious. You can't swim by reading about it.
But Sophie, that is exactly what millions of English learners are doing.
Oh,
They are sitting in classrooms, filling in worksheets, memorizing grammar charts, studying vocabulary lists.
and never actually speaking.
Or speaking so rarely, so carefully, so cautiously that the mouth never really learns anything at all.
The mouth never learns.
Here's the truth most teachers never say out loud. Speaking English is not a mental activity. It is a physical one.
Physical?
Your lips have to move in exact ways. Your tongue has to hit exact positions inside your mouth. Your jaw has to open and close with specific timing. Your lungs have to push air with precise control.
I never thought about it like that.
Most people don't. They think fluency is about knowing enough, but fluency is actually about moving fast enough.
Moving fast enough.
When a fluent speaker talks, their mouth is doing dozens of tiny movements every single second, without thinking, without hesitating, without planning.
Like a reflex.
Exactly like a reflex. And you cannot build a reflex by studying. You build a reflex by doing, repeatedly, consistently, until the body knows.
So the problem is not knowledge.
The problem has almost nothing to do with knowledge.
That is both terrifying and somehow really relieving.
I know, because it means your grammar is probably fine. Your vocabulary is probably decent. The foundation is already there.
But the mouth hasn't been trained?
The mouth has been sitting quietly in class for years, Sophie, waiting to be used and never being used enough.
That image is kind of heartbreaking.
It is, but it's also incredibly hopeful, because here's what's true. A muscle that has never been trained can still be trained.
You can still build the reflex.
At any age, at any level, with any accent, the door is never permanently closed.
But how? How do you actually train the mouth?
Hello, we're excited to show you our native speech capabilities.
Where you can direct a voice, create realistic dialogue, and so much more. Edit these placeholders to get started.
Let's go back to the swimmer for a moment. When they finally get in the water, what's the first thing they feel?
Panic? Resistance?
The body pushes back. The struggle, nothing feels natural. Everything feels wrong.
And they probably look ridiculous.
Probably. But they keep going. And the second time they get in, it's slightly less terrible. And the third time, slightly less again.
Until it starts to feel normal.
Until the body adjusts, until the muscles remember, until the movement becomes second nature.
And speaking English works the same way.
Exactly the same way. The first time you speak out loud, alone or with someone, it feels forced, unnatural, almost embarrassing.
Even when no one is watching.
Even then, because your mouth is not used to making those sounds. Your breath is not used to flowing that way. Your mind is not used to forming words that fast.
It feels like your body is resisting.
It is resisting. That is exactly what is happening. The body resists new patterns. That is normal. That is not failure. That is just how learning works.
So what do you do with that resistance?
You go through it, not around it. Through it.
That sounds harder than just studying more grammar.
It is harder. And it's also the only path that actually works.
Okay, Ion, let's get specific. What does mouth training actually look like?
It starts with sound. Not words, not sentences, just sounds.
Just sounds?
The sounds in English that your native language may not have. The sounds your mouth has never had to make before. The TH sound, the short I sound, the way the R sits deep in the throat in American English.
I have struggled with some of those my whole life.
Because you were never trained to make them. You were told how they work, but your mouth was never drilled to produce them automatically.
So repetition of sounds first.
Daily, even for 5 minutes, just sitting somewhere quiet, making sounds, repeating them, listening to yourself, adjusting, repeating again.
That feels almost too simple.
The most powerful things usually do.
What comes after sounds?
Breathing. Most people never think about breathing when they speak, but fluent speakers breathe very differently from struggling speakers.
How so?
A struggling speaker holds their breath slightly. They tense up. The chest tightens. The words come out compressed and unclear.
I do that. I feel that happening when I'm nervous.
Almost everyone does. But if you practice breathing first, long, slow breaths before you speak, the mouth relaxes, the throat opens, the words flow much more easily.
That's why people say to breathe when they're nervous.
Breathing is not just for nerves, Sophie. It is the physical foundation of clear speech. Without controlled breathing, no amount of vocabulary will help you sound fluent.
You're saying breathing before speaking.
Every time. It changes everything.
Okay, sounds, breathing, what else?
Self-talk. Daily, committed, slightly ridiculous feeling self-talk.
Self-talk?
Yes, talking to yourself out loud in English, describing your day, narrating what you're doing, arguing with yourself, telling yourself a story.
In my kitchen while making tea?
Especially in your kitchen while making tea. The more ordinary the moment, the more powerful the practice, because you are teaching your mouth that English belongs in ordinary life, not just in classrooms or exams.
English belongs in ordinary life.
That is one of the most important mindset shifts a learner can make.
What do you mean by mindset shift?
There is a belief many learners carry quietly, almost without knowing it, that English is something you perform, something you get right or wrong, something that will be judged.
That belief is exhausting.
It is, and it is also the single biggest reason people freeze. The fear of being wrong, the fear of sounding foolish, the fear of the pause, the mistake, the stumble.
That fear is so real, Ion.
I know. And here's what I want to say directly to anyone listening right now. That fear is lying to you.
Lying?
Lying. Fluent speakers make mistakes. Native speakers make mistakes. People who have spoken English for 50 years make mistakes. Mistakes are not the opposite of fluency. Mistakes are part of it.
Part of the process.
The mouth learns through mistakes. Every time you say something imperfectly and keep going, the mouth gets closer to the correct pattern. Every time you stop and go silent, the mouth learns nothing.
So silence is actually the enemy.
Silence is kind to your ego, but it is cruel to your progress.
That is painfully true.
The learners who improve the fastest are not the ones who study the most. They are the ones who are willing to sound terrible the longest.
Willing to sound terrible.
Willing to be in the water before they can swim. Willing to fumble through the sentence. Willing to get it wrong and try again immediately.
That takes courage.
Real courage. The kind no classroom can teach. The kind you only find when you open your mouth anyway.
Okay, so we have sounds, breathing, self-talk, and courage. Is there anything else?
One more thing, and it may be the most important.
What is it?
Emotion.
Emotion?
When you speak with emotion, something changes in the body. The voice opens, the breath deepens, the words carry weight. The listener leans in.
And the speaker feels it too.
Yes. Emotional speaking is not just about connecting with others. It is about connecting with your own voice, finding out what your voice sounds like when it is fully alive.
Fully alive.
Most people have never heard their own English voice fully alive because they have only spoken carefully, quietly, guardedly,
Trying not to make a mistake.
trying not to be seen failing. But Sophie, the voice that tries not to fail is never the voice that succeeds.
That's a powerful thing to say.
The voice that succeeds is the one that speaks even when it shakes.
Even when it shakes.
Especially then.
Can I ask you something more personal?
Of course.
Can you speak to people who are watching this right now and they have been struggling for years and they are tired and frustrated and maybe a little ashamed? What do you say to them?
I say this. What you have been doing is not studying wrong. You have been given the wrong map.
The wrong map.
You were handed a map that said the destination is knowledge, more grammar, more vocabulary, more rules.
And the real destination is something else.
The real destination is movement. The real destination is your mouth. The real destination has been inside you the whole time, waiting to be activated.
That is such a different way of seeing it.
The years you have spent studying are not wasted. They are the fuel. They are the knowledge sitting ready. You just need to light the fire.
Light the fire.
And the fire is lit every single time you open your mouth, even imperfectly, even nervously, even alone in your kitchen talking to yourself while making tea.
I will never make tea the same way again.
Good, because from today, your kitchen is a training ground.
And what happens when someone actually does this, when they commit to it, when they train the mouth every day? What does the change feel like?
At first, nothing. For a few days, maybe a week, it feels pointless. The mouth still stumbles. The words still feel heavy.
That's the part where most people stop.
That is exactly the part where most people stop. And it is also the part just before the shift.
The shift?
There is a moment, and it is different for everyone, where something clicks, where a sentence comes out and it doesn't feel like work anymore, where the mouth moves before the mind catches up.
That sounds like the moment everything changes.
Because it is. Once the mouth has that first truly automatic moment, it knows what to reach for. It knows what fluency feels like from the inside, and it starts chasing that feeling on its own.
The body starts teaching itself.
The body is an extraordinary learner, Sophie. It just needs to be given the right practice, not the right information.
And patience.
And patience. And the absolute refusal to believe that you are the one person on earth whose mouth cannot learn.
Because it can.
Every mouth can. Every voice can. Every person watching this right now, wherever you are, whatever level you are at, whatever failures you are carrying from before, your mouth can be trained.
It is never too late.
It is never too late. And it is not about talent. It is not about intelligence. It is not about living in an English-speaking country. It is about what you do with your mouth, starting today.
Starting today.
Not after the next lesson, not when you feel ready, not when you know enough. Today, with whatever words you have, in whatever imperfect, stumbling, beautiful way your voice comes out.
Beautiful.
Yes, because a voice that is trying is always beautiful. A voice that is learning is always beautiful. And a voice that refuses to be silenced by fear, That is the most beautiful thing in the world.
I think I needed to hear that today.
Someone watching this needed to hear it too. Someone who has been quiet for too long. Someone whose mouth has been waiting. Someone who almost gave up this week.
This video found them at exactly the right moment.
Sometimes the right words reach you at the right time, not by accident.
And those words are simple. Your mouth can learn. Start today.
Your mouth can learn. Start today. And never, not once, let silence be the answer when your voice is waiting to be heard.
That feels like the ending, Ian.
No, Sophie. This